If you'd like an educational booklet about the Beatles and their music, please write a cheque for £3 made payable to BSS and send it to this address. The Beatles, P.O. Box 6161, LWT, London W5 2GU.
Hollywood as you've never seen it before in Lights, Camera, Action! In a major new series, the movie makers tell it like it is.
You can be a great actor, but it doesn't mean to say you're going to be a movie star.
The people that I played on the screen, they have been me.
Meet the stars and the star makers.
So long as there is cinema, there will be stars.
Join Michael Aspel for Lights, Camera, Action, a new series starting next Sunday on LWT.
Next on LWT, from ITN, today's international news.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. 'Tis the season, watch out, look around, it's Coca-Cola, it's coming to town. Holiday refreshments, what we drink. 'Tis the season, it's always the real thing. Holidays are coming, always Coca-Cola.
You shouldn't be scrubbing at your age, Auntie.
Thanks, love. You need this for scrubbing there, and this for under here.
If you want to get well in without all that elbow grease, what you need is New Flash with bleach. Spray and its unique formula breaks up even cooker-top spills. While you whiz round, then just wipe.
Marvellous! You've done all that scrubbing.
Where there's a will, there's a way. New Flash with bleach does the hard work, so you don't have to.
When you're looking for the best dessert ideas, there's only one place to come. Well, you know how big Americans are on dessert.
One Gold Rush pie, one blueberry pie, one Mississippi mud pie, pick up.
Excuse me, those look delicious. Do you do individual portions?
Over here, these are individual portions.
McVitie's new individual American Dream frozen desserts.
Just the right size for our spritz.
You have to go a long, long way to find a better dessert.
Tonight on LWT, Goldie Hawn stars in a stylish movie about wartime America, Swing Shift. Starring Kurt Russell, Ed Harris and Goldie Hawn. The movie Swing Shift, tonight at 11:20 on LWT.
You're watching LWT. Now we go over to ITN and Dennis Toohey for today's international news.
From the studios of ITN, the news with Dennis Toohey.
Good evening. Welcome to the program. The headlines. As Celine's family grieve, police admit similarities with 8 other killings. Could it be too much? Record lottery jackpot is branded obscene. And as we ring out the old, here's how they rang in the new. The murdered French teenager, Céline Figard, may have been the victim of a serial killer. Police revealed they were looking at similarities with the murders of 8 other women across the country. Like Céline, their bodies were found naked and close to major roads. Today, her father laid flowers next to the lay-by in Worcestershire, where her body was found. Robert Hall reports.
In the slush and ice beside a road hundreds of miles from home, Bernard Figard remembered a daughter who should have been celebrating New Year with her family tonight. His simple tribute underlining a fresh plea for help.
Monsieur Figard said that Céline came to this country because she likes England and she likes the people here, and he appealed to everyone to come forward and to help to find the person responsible.
Today, for the first time, West Mercia Police, now heading the inquiry, said Celine's death could be linked to other murders in the North and Midlands.
There are several cases around the country which are well known and have been previously reported where naked women have been found adjacent to major roads or in country roads with similar injuries. Those are things that we will be looking at.
Detectives believe details of those killings do suggest a connection. They mention particularly the murder of Tracy Turner, whose body was found at Bitterswell in Leicestershire. She too was picked up at a motorway service area. Other unsolved cases being considered include those of Samo Paul, found near Swinford in Leicestershire, Dawn Shields, found at Mam Tor, Derbyshire, and Julie Findlay, found in a lay-by at Rainford in Lancashire.
And one of the things that we know about serial killers is that they're very mobile people. They use transportation to kill over a very wide geographic area, and that explains why they often go undetected for so long.
For now, the priority is still to trace the lorry driver seen with Celine or the Mercedes refrigerated truck he's believed to have been driving. Detectives have already begun tracing over 1,000 similar vehicles registered in this country. 90 officers are now involved in the hunt. More will be needed. Tonight, police are asking drivers who saw anything suspicious in or near this lay-by between Worcester and Kidderminster over the Christmas period to come forward as soon as possible. One phone call could provide detectives and a grieving family with the clue they so desperately need. Robert Hall, ITN, Worcestershire.
A senior churchman has attacked next week's record rollover National Lottery jackpot of up to £40 million as obscene. There have also been renewed demands for a limit to the amount that people can win. Here's Tim Wilcox.
With next week's potential jackpot likely to exceed £33 million and perhaps reach 40, Camelot tills were doing brisk business today. Some punters hoping for a prosperous new year, willing to increase their stakes.
Maybe a pound or two more, but that's about it.
If it like last week, we've done another lot. Double.
But the sheer scale of the payout, which would launch any single winner into the super-rich league, has been condemned by at least one leading churchman.
Well, I think that's quite obscene. And I think anybody with any common sense recognises that £33 million is way, way over the top and actually harmful and unacceptable.
The bumper rollover jackpot is the biggest ever. £11.7 million on the Saturday before Christmas went unclaimed. And yesterday the nation played for £23.9 million. Again, no winner, so next Saturday the jackpot will top £33 million. But with ticket sales increasing by a quarter during a rollover week, a £40 million jackpot is possible. Camelot, the lottery organisers, and Parliament acknowledge the concern about the large payouts, but say the issue is consumer-led.
We'll continue listening to our critics, but also we'll continue listening to the 30 million people who are playing the lottery every week, who are playing the lottery because they enjoy it and because they like the prospect of winning large amounts of money.
Next week's winner will have 3 pages in every paper. If it was a standard £5 million payout, they'd be looking to get 3 lines. And there would be fewer people then clenched by the fever.
But charities are feeling the squeeze.
Effect on giving is larger than the amount that we get from the lottery. So charity is a net loser from the lottery.
The rules say jackpots can be rolled over a total of 3 times, so the payout might soar even higher. Tim Wilcox, ITN.
The Prime Minister has launched an attack on Emma Nicholson, the Conservative MP who's defected to the Liberal Democrats. Writing in a newspaper article tomorrow, he accuses her of being a cut-and-run MP who had failed. She insists more Tory MPs are on the verge of leaving the party. Here's our political correspondent, Adrian Britton.
Emma Nicholson's prediction of possibly more Tory defections comes as party chiefs launch an offensive, attempting to recover from a highly damaging 48 hours.
There are many Tory MPs at the moment who are on the verge of leaving. A lot have already given them their resignation. Some have done so and have told me so because they cannot support the government any longer. It may be, and I hope there will be 1 or 2 who come and join me on the Lib Dem benches.
John Major, who says he won't be blown off course by the defection, has sent a New Year message to his constituency chairman saying, "We will continue to develop our policies. We must fight to make Britain the enterprise centre of Europe, which means cutting taxes and the burden of the state still further." The Prime Minister wants to hold out for an election until early '97, but with the government's majority crumbling, ministers are all too aware of Parliament's precarious balance of power.
What ends the life of a government is a vote of no confidence, and which way the individual parties, the minority parties, would vote in that circumstance, which is hypothetical, remains to be seen. I'm quite confident we can and will continue.
Labour says today's Tory advertisement in national newspapers, signed by John Major, listing the government's economic achievements, is evidence of a party in panic.
It's extraordinary to see these advertisements appearing in the newspapers protesting their good intentions despite all the record of failure. It's a real case of Corporal Jones shouting, "Don't panic."
Should it come to a vote of confidence in '96, John Major's survival will depend on the backing of the Ulster Unionist MPs. He knows that to keep their support, he can't afford to annoy them in his attempts to secure a permanent peace in Northern Ireland. Adrian Britton, ITN, Westminster.
Most of the US soldiers heading for peacekeeping duties in Bosnia crossed into the country from Croatia today. They arrived over a new pontoon bridge built by American Army engineers. Colin Baker reports from Sarajevo.
Building bridges is what they came to do. First, they had to build their own to get into Bosnia. 3 days late, American engineers erected the final pontoon across the River Sava, and the first of several thousand vehicles moved gently, tentatively forward, testing the longest floating bridge to be built since the Second World War. This will be the Americans' only route from Croatia into Tuzla, northeastern Bosnia, the only access point for tanks and artillery coming into the former combat zone. America's 1st Armoured Division will keep old enemies apart, as will the British in central Bosnia. But the British Challenger battle tanks and heavy guns are not due to arrive in the former Yugoslavia for another 6 days. In Sarajevo, the call to prayer this New Year's Eve is uninterrupted. These people will be celebrating not just the onset of the new, but hoping that the old has passed forever. Some may pause and look back and reflect on the cost of civil war in their capital. 11,000 adults, 2,000 children killed. And perhaps at the stroke of midnight, they may hope that the new year will at least be a safe year. Colin Baker, ITN, Sarajevo.
Fisheries Minister Tony Baldry has promised that the Royal Navy will be closely watching Spanish fishing vessels when they fish some British waters.